welcome to the podcast. Today with us we have Dr. Mobi. And Dr. Mobi is, I would come up with Dr. Mobi as an all-round kind of person. He does music, he's a medical doctor, he does podcasts, he talks on live shows. I mean, he just anything you would want. And then today we are honored to have him on our show to talk about very, very important topic, sleep, the whole principle of sleep and anything about sleep. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us. And officially, let me welcome to you. I present to you, Dr. Mobi. Dr. Mobi, welcome to the show.
Okay, well, thank you for having me. I'm a sleep specialist and I do lifestyle coaching to mentoring, and I have my TV show as well as music. I have a lot of interests. I want to make sure, people understand the reason for improving their sleep and adopting healthy habits, and especially, eating better, and they're all connected. So the sleep is the keystone, the centerpiece of anything. So if your sleep is fixed, then you're going to be eating better, you'll be craving less carbs, and then you will definitely be having more energy to do exercise or burn of the calories.
Okay.
So those are all related.
No, okay. So I don't know if it's the same with where you are. I'm in Africa. I'm in Ghana, and now it's almost as if nobody wants to sleep, especially even with the invention of these smartphones. People are, going to bed with their smartphones. People now smartphones even occupy spaces in people's beds, and then so today we want to find out how important is sleep to our lives, because people feel, look, I have to make money, I don't have to sleep too much. And then if you sleep too much, people feel you are lazy. So how important is sleep and how can we strike the balance?
Okay, and that is a very good question. Okay, so a lot of people don't understand first is why we have to sleep. So we have to sleep because your body needs both physical, your muscles, body, heart, blood pressure, all those need to be better. So the body repairs when we sleep. So how it repairs is fascinating. So because it is very smart, body, so it's going to use some of the resources. It has limited resources, not that it has unlimited powers.
Okay.
So it has limited powers. So it's gonna assign some of the workload to repair. So
Mhm.
when repair is going on, as we have seen when construction is going on or some road work is going on, the normal traffic is a little bit disturbed. The same thing happens when we sleep. So there's a repair going on. So the blood pressure falls a little bit. Heart rate is slow. Heart is beating less. So for heart, and less work is where it beats slowly, not where it stops beating.
Mhm.
So same for brain. Brain cells are firing all the time. When you and me we are talking, they are firing left and right, but they're gonna slow down firing and conserve some of the energy towards repair.
Okay.
There are toxins which accumulate during day, and that has to be cleaned. All the mess up of the daytime. Same stands for memories. Same stands for emotions. We get drained. We have so much stress during day.
Mhm.
So that your body needs a repair. So that is why. Okay.
Okay.
So
Okay. Sure. So now, if there's one bone of contention around anywhere is the time and the number of hours you need to sleep. Now, people say 6, people say 8, people say 5, people say 4. Now, you are the specialist when it comes to some of these things. What is
okay.
the time people?
So I always tell people, everybody is unique. You
Mhm.
are unique, and I'm unique. Everybody is unique. Everybody has a different needs. We all different. We eat differently, size, portion, everything. So your body needs hours of sleep. Everybody varies. So I might need 6.5, 7 hours. You might need 8 hours. Somebody might need 9 hours because there's a genetic variation. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
Very important for everything is to know your body. So listen to your body. Okay.
Okay.
So if you're sleepy, tired next day, and you're not able to focus and do things, then you are probably having some sleep issues for sure.
Okay.
Okay, so make sure then get more hours of sleep. And the first thing anybody should do and everybody should do is have a balance, have a discipline. Okay, in life, for body, it is very important to have a discipline. Okay, and why it is important? Because the whole body, every single cell is very disciplined, and it works off a clock. There's a clock inside each cell,
Uh-huh.
and it regulates like at this time this thing is going to, these hormones are going to be secreted at this time, this is gonna be like this or versus that. So there's a rhythm in the body, every cell has it. And
Okay.
your brain controls, there's a master clock there, it controls every part of your body. And so guess what will happen if you shift that scale or discipline every day, and if you move that too quickly, it becomes very erratic. So imagine if you change your routine every day, then body gets very kind of mixed signals that
Huh?
something is wrong. So
Okay.
have a discipline. You need to wake up on time, you need to go to bed very similar time, do not party late hours on weekend and weekday. Remember, there is something called sleep debt. So your brain remembers every night you did not sleep well, and it's going to try to recover some
Really?
that over a few days.
Okay. Oh, okay. That's interesting. So your brain literally remembers you had 1 hour more to sleep, but you didn't, and it's going to yearn for that. Is that, I don't know whether I got that correct.
Yeah, what happens is brain remembers it. So so there is certain parts of the sleep which we call which are very essential. So somebody is sleep deprived, the body knows which part to get first because those are very essential for the body functions. So it's going to recover that. So there's a recovery sleep when happens, it recover the most essential part of the sleep. So sleep has different parts. One is your rapid eye movement where we are dreaming, which is
Mhm.
1/3 of our sleep, and 2/3 is non-rapid eye movement, where we are mildly dreaming, not intense dreaming. So
Okay.
or no dreaming. So those are where body is going to get some rest. Stage 3 of non-dream portion. So the body tends to have that, resting and so forth. But unfortunately, if that doesn't work, then guess what will happen? There will be a problem for us. So for body, it's very important to recover
Oh,
adequately.
okay. So now I want to know what are some of the sleep requirements, because growing up I could never sleep when I had the lights on. Fast forward now, if the lights are not on, I can't sleep. What really causes that?
Okay. So our sleep architecture changes during time as we grow. When we
Okay.
are kids, we are sleeping more. We sleep deep. Okay.
Uh-huh.
As we grow older, we lose the deep sleep. Okay, we are less and less. Men really lose very fast. Okay, so women tends to preserve some of their deep sleep. Men don't. Women
Okay.
wake up a lot, but men don't. So with time, there is a change. Now, men develop sleep apnea or snoring earlier than women because of our testosterone. Okay.
Okay.
So that's why there is a problem. You'll see some snoring going on. So the quantity is very important. We talk about hours of sleep, everybody could be different. Then there is a quality issue where there could be a problem with saturation, oxygen, snoring problem. There could be stop breathing. So those things can affect. So uh, those two things are very important: quality and quantity. So those has to be appropriate. Okay.
Oh, okay. Okay. Now let's talk about uh, we are talking about sleep deprivation, where people don't get a chance to sleep. I want to find out firstly, these conditions have, health issues. Like if someone doesn't sleep for that long, let's say the person is not getting, let's say, an hour more like he's supposed to, let's say for 10 years, is that really likely to cause a health issue to the person?
Okay. So there are both extremes are bad. Less sleep and more sleep. Okay.
Hmm.
So it has to be happy medium. So
Okay.
you don't want to be sleeping less. That's called insomnia. And then you don't want to be sleeping more. Actually, there is a study about if you sleep more than required, you actually people die earlier. So then the problem is the body is made to actually sleep certain time, but then it has to work or move because the blood tends to clot, and if you're kind of in the bed too long and you're not moving, it's also a problem for the body. So there's a limit, it's a fine balance. So
Yeah.
it has to be appropriate. So that's why I said, do not sleep too much, do not sleep less. Just appropriate where you can function, which days you do better. So over the week or months, I'm sure there are days you feel better, there are days you feel exhausted. So then figure out those hours are best for you, then stick to those routine. You need to wake up on time, do not party late on weekend, and also go to bed and wake up. I always say, look at the birds, look at the animals. Do they have sleep problem? No, because you see the birds are out there early morning, right,
Yeah.
with the dawn. There's no alarm. They don't have iPhone or smartphone. So I mean, they are up, and but we are not. I mean, we humans are waking up 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, and then say, "Oh my God, what has happened?" Well, nothing, but you ignored the nature's call. Okay, so you mess up your own natural rhythm. So guess what will happen? It will have devastating effect on your body. Okay, so
Oh,
both sleep is ruined. So for sleep is very important is discipline and rhythm. Okay,
oh, okay.
so and then everything else starts. So if you wake up early and you wake up on time or approximately same, do not vary your sleep by more than 30-40 minutes because that's very hard to catch back.
Okay, okay. Now, speaking about animals, you just talked about animals. About we looking at how animals live. Does the nature of sunrise and sunset, how does it affect our sleep and wake habits? I don't know whether I get the question.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so our body has, like I was telling you, it has a clock inside.
Okay.
Every cell has, the brain has a clock. It regulates. So if we are in a spaceship and we are going to Mars or Moon, our body will still function very well. Okay,
Okay.
because there's a clock inside each. Now there is external clock, we call it. So it synchronizes with external time zone,
Okay.
and how it knows is from sunset and sunrise. So that light affects your brain, and there's a melatonin secreted, and that is sensitive to the effects of light. So if we are in a, paying attention to outside, if you're going outside and it's synchronizing that, so you have enough melatonin to tell your brain it's nighttime versus less melatonin to tell it's daytime, then body knows to kind of correct itself.
Okay.
But remember, that's how the body and animals know.
Oh, okay. So now you're going to talk about um dreams in a very short while, but I want to find out, is it when people go through certain life circumstances like a heartbreak, if it's pain within, you realize that now they tend to be sleepless. They don't sleep much as they're supposed to. And so is there anything really, that brings that up? Because like someone goes through a breakup, or um someone goes through a loss of a loved one, you realize that at even though there might be people who really love to sleep, like they would sleep in time and wake up on time, but you realize that now it affects how they sleep and how they wake up. So what is the
Right.
science behind that?
Okay, so there is like, remember I said initially there's a physical repair, and then there's the emotional repair, and
Yeah,
then there
yeah.
is a memory repair. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
three repairs are going on. So emotional is our stress, and if we love somebody or if we are in some emotions, the brain recognizes, brain is not robot, so it recognizes that emotions, your love or memory or your affection or whatever feelings you have, those needs to be repaired. So next day you can kind of feel the same. But if you have a loved one loss or a sadness, it can affect your sleep, because people will have very intense dreaming, and then they will have nightmares. They can, because its brain is like, have you seen those old CDs or cassette tracks? If the track one was wrong, it will get stuck.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
so the brain does same thing. So there's electrical circuits in the brain.
Mm-hmm.
So the electrical circuits are going to get stuck if you have a very severe trauma, and
Okay.
that's going to keep repeating that nightmare for you till you heal that. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
but so there's a way actually. So if you kind of get some therapy, then that ease up that thing, and that will help you, so you don't have nightmares. Sometimes you need the medications. So that is true. That is because the brain is has very similar to the electronics memory. So that is the problem with that.
Oh, okay, okay. So it means there's no real antidote to that unless it's healed. It doesn't heal with
Yeah.
time. You just need an external healing.
Yeah, and so healing will happen if you, first of all, healing will happen if you sleep good. Second thing is because the brain need time to heal. Neurons need time to heal. Second thing is, getting positive energy, getting some therapy, talking to and expressing. So there are thoughts in our subconscious. There could be a lot of sadness, but if you talk and if you kind of get some therapy, some help, then it's going to ease up that. So they're not things in your subconscious level. So when you sleep, those kind of come back and as a dream. So those are the one we are trying to resolve.
Oh, okay, okay.
So that's why sleep is very, very fascinating.
Oh,
There is so much going on. Yeah.
uh-huh, uh-huh. So now we I think we almost zoomed into the part of dream. One thing I always don't I don't understand is if someone sleeps and they dream, is it is the dream interfering with their sleep or they are still doing both of them at the same time? That's
Well, yeah, that is a good question. So the part, remember I said two parts to the sleep.
mm-hmm,
One is dream sleep, the other is non-dreaming.
mm-hmm.
So the dream portion, which is one third of our sleep, you are dreaming. Everybody dreams every day, but we don't remember every dream every day because 80% we forget. So
Okay.
there are few dreams we remember. Okay, which is nothing wrong with it. Okay, so everybody dreams every day, because if I put on monitors on the brain, scalp, I can record them. So, but not the exact that somebody is what they are dreaming, but we can tell somebody is in the dreaming portion of sleep. So there's a very fascinating thing happening in the brain when we dream. So dream actually is like a wake state, like you and me are awake, same thing, but you cannot run in the bed. Okay, and that's what body does to you. It kind of has these periods where it starts with non-dreaming 120 minutes. It has the first episodes of a dream and very long one, and then after that it keeps on repeating after another hour or half hour. Some dreams, as we sleep more and more, your dreaming episodes become longer and longer. So there was also concern that people develop complications, especially with the heart, if they are intense, they are into that dream state more. So remember the old saying, early to bed, early to rise. So if you sleep late hours and you sleep 9-10 hours, you will have such a long periods of dream, and that's very bad for the heart.
Oh, okay.
because because it's like you and me. It's like, your heart is working very hard. So when we are awake, like I said, your heart is, blood pressure goes up, heart is racing, because you could be chasing somebody, you could be doing a lot of things in your dreams, and your heart, races. Okay, so your heart would not rest in dream portion. So when you sleep more, it's not healthier.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay.
Okay, so it has to be appropriate. Okay, not less, not more.
Oh, okay. Okay. Now I don't know whether you. I mean, I know as a professional, you see this more. You realize that sometimes you might be thinking about something during the daytime. It's like you're just thinking about it. Let's say you're thinking of traveling to. At least I'm thinking of having a podcast with Dr. Mobi in the evening.
Mm,
Then I sleep a day before the podcast. Then in my sleep, it's almost as if I'm dreaming about having the actual podcast with Dr. Mobi in my sleep. And this
mm.
happens to me. I mean, it happens to me just about every time, especially when I'm looking forward to the thing. Is it really an issue, or is there something that has to do with it?
It has to do with stress. Okay, so
Okay.
you're preoccupied with, so what you need to do is try to kind of get something to relax. Don't think too much about it. So the more you learn to relax, you would not have
Oh, okay. The
that.
more you learn to relax, so it literally has to do with sleep. There's no issues about that.
Yeah, there's no issue, but if we are stressed, we will have nightmares, or we'll have those dream about that project. Sure.
Oh, okay, okay. So now I want to find out if someone is how often, well, even before I come to with someone, how often does dreams interfere with sleep?
Dreams don't interfere with sleep. Like I said, every day we do dream. One
Mhm.
third of our sleep is dream. So
Okay.
everybody dreams every day.
Mhm. Okay. So what are some of the common with the same thing, what are some of the common sleep problems that you medics really encounter for in your field of
Okay.
work?
So most common problem we encounter is lack of sleep or insomnia, lack of falling or remaining asleep, which is called insomnia, or they're having snoring or sleep apnea, where they stop breathing. Okay. So those are the most common. The other common we also see is they have a leg movement where they have to shake their legs, or they're kicking somebody in the bed. So those are also common. So those are most common. There could be other problem with dreams. There could be other problem with narcolepsy or excessive sleepiness. And then there are, all those issues actually always can be there.
That's really interesting. I'm learning more. I'm learning more about sleep. And it's really interesting. So now I want one question I think that came to me from a friend. I talked about having a sleep, and it was he wanted to find out if what we've talked about the common problems, insomnia, sleep apnea, and all of that. But then if someone has issues with their sleep, is there a specialist they actually come to see, or any general doctor could handle their problems?
Mm. Okay, yeah, I am a sleep specialist, so people see me for sleep disorder.
Oh, okay.
um, so they will see me for to discuss all that. So my aim is to basically get that taken care, analyze, tell people what is normal, what is not normal, and how to take care.
Oh, okay. So we talked about some of these sleep disorders. Talked about insomnia. So can some of these issues run in some families? Like
Mhm.
I want to find out, do some of these sleep disorders do they run in some families, or there has nothing to do with family issues?
Yes, it can definitely, run in the families, because they have people could have, the genetics. So some of the sleep disorders like snoring runs in the family, sleep apnea can run in the family. Certain people can have insomnia, also runs in the family. So yes, it does have genetic variation. Some are short sleepers, some are long sleeper. So those problem can. So uh, other things which we can modify, and I always want to, genetics is one thing, but you want to help or hurt your genetics, is that if you are going to work, get some, don't gain weight, so if you gain weight, the airway gets narrow, especially this one.
Mhm.
And this is a ratio proportion between your jaw and tongue. So if your tongue is big, and then your jaw is small, then it's going to push back and shut your airway. So
Okay.
those, and people who gain weight, their neck, as you have seen, if you gain weight, the neck gets bigger too, and that puts a pressure on the airway, and then people can develop sleep apnea. So even
Oh,
if they didn't have it, genetics, they will develop. So those are very important. So genetically, somebody could be blessed with good sized jaw, blah blah blah. But if we don't pay attention to our eating habits, we will develop. Same stands for insomnia problems. Everybody has tendency. There are strengths in everybody, and there are not so many strong points. And sometimes it does happen. It's normal. Nobody's perfect, but we always want to work with those, and you don't want to mess up your weaknesses on that. So if somebody has a tendency to, let's say, very sensitive to effects of sleep, they should not be partying a lot. They should be very careful, more disciplined, you know waking up, going to bed, not drinking coffee or tea too much, because you know that you have a little bit reserved. So everybody is unique. So remember, disease and the treatment is guided by what genetics we have. So some people could be blessed in one way, some might not have that blessing. So, but we work with it, work what we have.
oh, okay, okay.
Okay.
So I have this personal question. This is my dad passed on, and before he passed on, he had Parkinson's disease where he kept sickness and something like that. But then one thing I saw in his my dad was around 60 something. One thing I saw in his old age is that because he was being treated of the Parkinson's disease, sometimes he found it difficult to sleep at night. I mean, he could sleep. He could tell he's going to bed, and yes, he'll be in sleep. But in 3 hours, when you are ready to sleep, that's when he's awake. And sometimes he doesn't sleep till this morning. Is that is that really an issue that has to do with the Parkinson's disease treatments, or what? I mean, literally, do some medications really cause sleep disorders? That's basically what I'm asking.
Yeah, that is true. Certain medication can cause disorder, but in Parkinson's or other neurological disorder, you always want to make sure people are not waking up. Remember, we talk about quantity and we also talk about quality. So the
Mhm.
quality is the oxygen problem.
Okay.
So people could have oxygen problem and they could be waking up because of that. So remember, I told you, when we sleep, if your body doesn't get oxygen, your body will just try to wake you up or
Mhm.
keep you awake, because the problem is body knows if it goes to sleep, the oxygen will be gone or less, and it'll be a problem. So those are the ones who always concerns us, and we always want to be absolutely sure that you continue with those.
Okay.
Okay,
Yeah.
so that's why we should know kind of, there are certain medication that will make it worse. So if your oxygen problem and you give somebody medication to sleep, guess what will happen? Their oxygen will drop further.
Oh, okay. Okay. Sure. One. Unfortunately, today we couldn't try inform our listeners of this show, but I just sent this to a couple of friends, and the first question that came, it sounds really, but the person wants to find out that um how what is the relation between sleep, your bed, your pillows, and all of that, because it's almost as if, I mean, if you're going to spend about one third of your whole life on your bed, what is the relation between your hours of sleep, your bed, your pillows, your humidity, and all those external factors?
Okay. So your question is what environmental factors are there, pillow, bed, or the room? Well, just remember, don't go to bed till you're sleepy. So don't remain in bed. Like we don't want people sleeping in the bed and doing things which shouldn't be doing in the bed.
Okay.
Don't be watching TV. Don't be playing on computer or phone, because then guess what will happen? Your brain will know this is not the place to sleep,
Mhm.
and once you tell your brain something, it remembers it. So try not to teach your brain wrong habits. So you want to go to bed when you are sleepy, and if you are unable to sleep for 45 minutes or so, get up and just sit in the couch or a different room. You don't want to enter or remain in the bedroom. Your bedroom brain should remember this is a place where somebody is going to sleep. Talking about the pillows, you need to be just comfortable. Don't If you have a problem with sleep apnea or snoring or so, you intentionally actually will have difficult time sleeping on the back, and you will find more comfortable. If you have incline, you need more pillows, and that because your body knows that you have a problem. So it doesn't matter for body. Just be comfortable. You don't have to spend a lot of money on it. Sleep will come. Have discipline and just eat healthy. Make sure don't get sick.
Okay. So I'm gonna ask this question for a very dear friend of mine, and her question is that you see when I don't know this, I have no idea, but it says when ladies are about to go to their menstrual cycles, they have issues sleeping, and maybe right after their menstrual cycles, they have issues sleeping. Now, what are some of? I mean, what really causes that? What influences that?
Say that again. What are the?
I mean, menstrual cycles. She
Oh,
is
your
saying that,
menstrual
yeah.
cycle. Yeah, so they can disturb. So with the for females, for men and females are a little different. So they could be more irritable if they have or they could be disruptive sleep. So their sleep could be disturbed. Now remember, if you have some kind of pain, your sleep will be disturbed. So if somebody has a fracture or some abdominal pain or some other pain, your sleep will be disturbed. So same stands for with the periods. There are changes in the hormones, and that can make people less sleepy or more sleepy. And so depending on, so pregnancy on the other hand can also affect. So same thing, the hormones play a very important role, and though they actually change how we sleep or how it's going to be affected.
Oh, okay. So, Dr. Now we're going to wrap up very soon with the myth people have about sleep. I just want you to come from you. The myth people have about sleep. But before that, I want to answer. I want you to help me answer this question on listening around. And this one is saying that um there are a lot of there are a whole lot of questions, but I think I picked this one up, and it says my father who is 71 suffers from Alzheimer's disease. At night, he's agitated and screams and shouts later at night. Is this problem due to the Alzheimer's, or he's developing a sleeping disorder?
Whenever we have Alzheimer's or other disorder, you always want to be checked for sleep disorder.
Okay.
Because remember, we always want to fix things which can be fixed.
Mhm.
Sleep disorders are one of them which you can fix. So, somebody when have dementia, if you fix their sleep or sleep apnea or other disorder, it helps. It helps the brain. So, they could have less reserve than normal person. So if you fix that or help them, that really works.
Oh, okay. So now I want us to zoom into the myth people have about. Have you heard any myth lately people have about sleeping?
You mean what people have myth about? Well,
Yes.
they have is that most common thing they will think that sleep just is nothing, but they just go to bed and change it. No, you have to be. Now this was a time when we were kids. Yes, maybe we can get away with a lot of things, but as we age, we have to pay attention. We have to pay attention to our body. We have to take care of our body.
Okay.
And sleep is very, very important, more
Mhm.
than anybody thinks. is related to your lot of things, emotions, memory, your thinking, your eating habits, your exercise. Lot depend on how well you sleep.
Okay. Okay. All right. So now, I want to take this advice from. This is going to be the last advice I want to take from you, and this advice is now. Okay. Before the advice, between two things, between working out late, as in working late into the night, and waking up early to work, which of the two do you really recommend?
Okay. Well, I just recommend some people have a more tendency to be that we call early birds. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
Some people are feeling good by waking up early. Some, like me, I tried not to be working early. So then you have to listen to your body and see where you. So some might like to wake up 7, some might like 6:30, some might like 8 o'clock. Work with your with your body. Okay.
Uh-huh.
So find out, or from you, when do you feel good. So if you feel better, then I try to work with that strength. Okay.
Okay.
So listen to your body, my answer. Okay.
Okay, sure. All right. So now we want to take our final words before we ask our final two questions. What are your final words? Today we've had a session about sleep. What are your final words to people out there, the average person who is neither a late sleeper or an early bird? What is your final words to them? I know you've already repeated some of them. What are your final words to them?
Yeah, so my final message is, pay attention to your health, pay attention to your body. Your
Mhm.
body needs a repair, your body needs a better sleep, and take care of your body. Don't mess it up, because it's going to you are the one actually will have consequences. Same stands for you. Better eating, eat better. We have to pay attention, and please be safe. No need to do wild parties, and just get some positive energy and spread love. So it'll be fine.
Wow, spread love and it'll be fine. Thank you so much, Dr. Mubi. But we never like to end our podcast. We ask our first time podcasters. I mean, we are going to be on subsequent ones, we hope. But then for on your first time, I want to ask you questions. The first one is, what are your three truths? Three truths in this world. Three things only Dr. Mubi knows is true and will never change for you.
The voice quality kind of muffled. So can you repeat the
Oh,
question?
I'm asking you, what are your three truths, three things in this world that are true for you and you know will never change?
What are true for me?
I mean, three things that you know are true for
Oh,
you.
three things.
Yeah. And
Okay, okay. Yeah, three things is number one is health. That is number one
okay.
for anyone, including me. Lot
Mhm.
of problems, even for doctors, the medical profession, everybody is not taking care of yourself. We people tend to give advice, and people tend to give, but they never act themselves. So you look at me, I practice healthy diet. I keep myself in good shape because I know people are listening to me, and I want to be the best example.
Okay.
And then the second thing is, you want to make sure you want to spread the good positive energy and seek positive energy. It will come to you. And third is, have hope. Have hope, things will get better, and they will.
Okay, sure. So final question, what is your definition of success? Dr. Mubi, you personally, what is your definition of success?
Well, my definition of success is very simple: is feel blessed and keep working on whatever you enjoy.
All right, all right.
Okay,
Keep,
so
keep
I feel blessed that I have things, and I'm thankful. I'm thankful even as right now, but keep enjoying your life and keep working on it. So that's why I don't have a definite goals that I have to have this much in account or that much, but I just want to keep doing things what I enjoy.
all right, keep doing things that you really enjoy. Thank you so much, Dr. Moby. We are really, really, really grateful to have you on our show this evening.
Thank you, sir. Thank
All
you, sir.
right,
It was pleasure. Take
all
care.
right, sure.
Thank you.
All right.